Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Super Metroid: A Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Winter 2018 tournament. I am Seiryu X, and here to help me with the breakdown of this race is Breakdown. How are you doing tonight?
How's it going? Ready for some randomizer this evening?
Yes, ready for this combo pack as chat put out. Hopefully, won't have a combo breaker. And as you can see, sorry, we're starting a little late. As you can see, OC just skip the first part of Brinstar. Not really useful all the time, and we just see a green goo in the bottle.
Yep, going straight into Link to the Past. Pretty standard for the intro here. Most players will opt to do this. And the Quit the Sanctuary, ooh, bottle of green goo. Everybody loves to have a bottle of green goo. That'll be helpful for the Kakariko checks. Pick up Sick Kid.
So we did see a quick Mike map check. I believe Eastern was a crystal. I did not see the other two.
Looked like Pendant Hera, Red Pendant Hera, and 5-6 in Desert, if my eyes did not deceive me. So, Chad asking what's going on with Cynas. What happened here? His stream is paused. He is definitely live and active. He forgot to set his stream delay, so we'll have his feed running again here once OC gets to the catches up in the timer mark. That's 6:13 here. So okay, heading into Lumberjack Ledge. What do we got here?
Did you catch what you saw?
Ooh, that was a sword. Sword on Lumberjack. That could potentially come into play later. I'm not sure if they'll go there strictly for a sword, since they need at least one to go to Aga to begin with.
Yes, they do need at least one because of the curtain they have to cut. I don't know why they can't pull down the curtains, but um, they either need two swords up to Master Sword, or they need a sword and a cape.
Yeah, but that could just be a nice bonus if this seed does make them do Aga for whatever reason. I'm not sure if that's going to cause anybody to do Aga, however. So that was, I believe, a tier 1 tree pull for 4 hearts. And supers early is always good to find. That first super pack is important.
Yes, it is, because you need a lot of supers and, Super Metroid. I mean, it's in the name. Did Osse find? Oh, okay, he's doing the hula hand play. I was wondering why he saved and quit.
Okay, that makes sense here. A little risky going for that without, after making some checks. You get flippers and all of a sudden the setup doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, you want to do that as early as possible. Mind you, there is another setup requiring the power glove and some bombs, and you can use the back escape drop down for that. Also, I
Okay.
do want to note that you see that little hint tail that you've been noticing in the V30 logic. We won't be using that. We are still on V29. Ooh, we got a cane at Burna at the Link's house.
Cane's always a good find. Not the cane you're looking for, but it's good to have an invincibility item, certainly.
Yes, pretty, especially with this early in the race, and you have that green goo, that's pretty helpful. And OC is deciding to do a bomb farm there. Probably not, they didn't want to risk not having at least one bomb to get through Kakariko.
Yep, those 50-50 bushes, always good with, even with the money to buy one, just in case race game is something you want to pick up if you're coming at it from this way. It's good to have the one bomb just so you can get it without doubling back. And race game has just a missile pack. I think he will let them keep that trash. Missed what was on library there.
And whoa, okay, that bottle very helpful. Sick Kid had SM bombs. Yeah, those were SM bombs. Aye, those morph bombs. Nice early check for Sick Kid, so they won't have to worry about the soft locks that are possible in Super Metroid. Okay, Bottle Vendor only has a big 20, so that was a bit of a loss. Okay, we have the well. Here is 50 rupees, and Cynas is finally logged back in. So we're now, we have everybody synced up. Single rupee. We always love seeing that. Piece of heart, another single rupee, and another 5 rupee. Money well. Well, that actually makes sense. You throw money down the well. Okay, so Cynos now is going to get his morph bombs while Ose checks the uh, thieves' hideout, rather blind's hideout. And I apologize for breakdowns, a few little issues. It's just that he's a little delayed right now, so I'm covering for right now. Um, Looks like there was nothing much on the first 4 chests of. Not much for all the chests of hideout, but those missiles are going to be helpful for Super Metroid. I was thinking doing this quick save and quit. Excuse me. Probably gonna check South Shore and Sinus Gang his piece of art. Ooh, such a nice find. The dam had the hammer, so it's hammer time. Better get your parachute out, pants out. Okay, I just aged myself so badly for saying that. Just to answer a question in chat, Aussie did the Lost Woods earlier. Oh, nice lost glove, soggy lost glove in the back of dam or bottom of the dam. Excuse me. Anyway, so Aussie did do. They both did the. Um, so just to catch you up, because Cynas had the little issue. They both done everything you've seen so far on Aussie screen, except for Boulder Camp at the moment. Um, there was only missiles, I believe, for both Lost Wood, so there wasn't really much. There was a bottle of green goo in Sanctuary, and then what Sinus did that OC hasn't done is check the Blue Brit Star, and there wasn't really much there. I believe it was just missile packs. Speaking of, we got super missiles, red rupees, power bombs. That's nice to find, and another set of missiles. So far, we're only getting ammo for Super Metroid. And for anybody that's new to this combo randomizer, as somebody just asked, there are 4 specific points in both games that connect to each other. So one of them is the Fortune Teller Hut at Lake Hylia that connects to, I believe it was a map room in Criteria. The one of the caves just above the Old Man Cave in Light Death Mountain. It leads to, I believe, that's a map room in Upper Northware, Norfair. There's a Meridia, a really useless Meridia missile room that connects to Dark Dark Ice Rod Cave, the opposite of this one that Aussie is in, which actually has a blue mail. That's nice. And the last one is Lower Northfar, just above the Screw Attack item location. There's a door there that leads to Misery Mire, the right side hut of Misery Mire. Wow, that was a lot of talking. So South Shore had the hammer and the power glove, but that's all that we saw there. Let's see what Escape has. Piece of heart gives you full heart. Another piece of heart and missiles. Uh, Not really useful for Link to the Past yet. To answer your question, chat, yes, Zosti, Cynas did check Blue Brinstar first. There was only trash in those first two checks. Or I believe they were trash. I believe one of them was missiles. I don't know what the second item was. So while Cynas is gonna get his Super Metroid item cave, ammo cave, excuse me. So he's gonna check Uncle and probably gonna check the back of the front of Escape, excuse me. So I believe that was our first or second energy tank for Super Metroid. What's this chest gonna be? It's another pack of missiles. To answer a question from Balthasar, yes, can be required for both games. So, or at least the Zelda 3 pedestal would be required. And yes, Thathlon, if I'm saying your name right, the Morph Ball, the Super Metroid Morph Ball, is basically the Moon Pearl of Super Metroid, because Moon Pearl unlocks 99% of the game, whereas Moon Pearl here for A Link to Past not locks about, I'd say, 75 to 80%.
All right, sorry about that.
No worries. I was just giving them the full breakdown of what's happened so far. Sorry, you're gonna be hearing that pun a lot.
Oh, I'm used to it. I've had this nick for quite many years. So, all right. So it looks like let's see, wasn't paying that close attention while I was messing around with the technical aspects on my side here, but it looks like they're 2/3 of their way to Dark World's access. That's always a good thing to see here.
Yes, they are. They just need Moon Pearl right now. So they
Okay.
have. So the hammer was inside the chest of the dam, while Power Glove was underneath in the sunken lake, or
Ooh.
the drained lake.
Oh, so dam was loaded. Loaded for Dark World. All right, looks like let's see, we have a fake flipper going on Cynas' side, with Aussie wrapping up the front of Escape. Gotta lock those bombs up. Gotta keep them under lock and key.
Yeah, there wasn't. They've been mostly getting ammo in so far. The hammer, the Super Metroid bombs, the Power Glove. That's all the actual items they've gotten so far.
All right, well, we'll see what friend Hobo here has. What brought him to his low state? Oh, he's an energy junkie by the looks of things here.
Okay, is that a Red Bull or a Monster?
Might be a Four Loco kind of guy, possibly. He's a hobo after all.
There is that. Okay, though. So the desert was the 5/6 crystal, and Hera was the pendant. We got it flipped a little bit.
And Sarashla here, hoarding a bunch of ammo in the back of his house. So
I don't know if you can call this single arrow ammo, but okay.
Hey, that one arrow can get the job done. Sometimes it's all you need. Okay, it looks like Osse making the dip to Eastern here. 3 items up for grabs in here. And currently, with a little traversing of dark rooms, you'd be able to get 5 of the 6 locations in here.
Yeah, the only thing that only one of those chests, the 1 to 2 of those chests will be out of logic without the lamp. Actually, 3 of them, excuse me. But they still need the bow to get to Armos.
That is a hard requirement. You gotta get past the red Igors.
Yeah, it's not like you can get Samus to come over here and use one for missiles in Hyrule.
I wouldn't be too surprised if red Igors are immune to missiles, actually. Wouldn't surprise me too much.
True, they are immune to bombs.
Immune to bombs, they're immune to magical medallions, causing earthquakes and raining fire from the sky. I think they can stand up to a regular missile. Super might be a tougher sell, but maybe in future editions of the randomizer, you can port characters over. That would be interesting. But
That would be funny. So Ozzy so far has just found the budget items to Eastern, so he will probably have to traverse that dark room just to get to the big key, the vanilla big key chest. Not that the Eastern dark room, like the first one, is very hard.
and it's one of the first dark rooms people learn when they're learning the game. Now the one with the Igors behind it, that one's a little trickier, but that's not going to come in. There's the Moon Pearl, cutting me off mid-sentence. Fantastic find. It's a required double dip by the looks of things here, unless the bow shows up in the back end. And definitely logically a required double dip at this point.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Logic, yeah. And let's see, Green Pendant is Misery Mire. So, Sahasra, if you talk to Sahasra, you'll find out where the Green Pendant is. If you talk to the big bomb vendor in Dark World, you'll find out where the 5-6 crystals are.
Actually didn't know that latter one, but by the time you're in the Dark World, you can just map check it. And you can see everything, so I guess that doesn't come into play very often. Interesting tidbit.
It's actually very useful in Key Sanity since you need to have the map to know which dungeon is pendant or crystal.
That would make sense. Okay, so now armed with his Moon Pearl and full Dark World access, where is Osse heading? Looking
Looks
like Hype Cave.
Yep. Or as a few of us other commentators call it, the artist formerly known as Hype Cave, because this isn't V18 anymore. The Hype Cave hasn't been hype as much as it used to be.
You
However,
can still find
this
some
is
hype in Hype Cave. You still definitely can.
Well, this is true. Plus, this is the combo randomizer, so there are more items in the pool.
After all this build-up, let's see what we got in here. Oh, Bloomerang. It's already the best cave ever. And big finish. Flippers. That's a pretty big finish. I give that at least a... let's see. You get a Bloomerang and Flippers. That's like at least a 3.5, a 4 out of 10. I'm not sure if I would call it hype, but good cave. Wood cave again.
Actually, I would call that hype because Swamp is definitely required. Plus, the other 5-6 crystal is Thieves. The blue pendant is Ice, and the other 3 are regular crystals.
Yep, so those flippers are definitely needed. And let's see. Still a ways away from being able to do too much with them. I didn't catch while I was messing around with settings. Did Osse do a fake flipper?
Osse did not, because like Cynas, he didn't have enough rupees to go to Zora, so he didn't find it to be a useful play at the moment.
That's fair, definitely. And so that puts a bunch of checks in logic for them, certainly. And not requiring the glitch to do it might make them a little more attractive.
Speaking of attractive, getting another energy tank off the pyramid ledge definitely is.
Certainly. Those first
Kind of,
few E-techs are so valuable.
oh yeah, kind of interesting routing here. I was expecting OC to go west and head to Village of Outcasts, but he's deciding to get rid of these out of the way checks immediately, namely Pyramid Ledge and Catfish.
A catfish is one, get it out of the way when you can, definitely. Because if there's value there, there's actually a pretty good chance your opponent's not going to do it. It's one of those kind of divisive checks. People don't hurry to catfish typically. It's one that can sit there till the end game, and then you find some critical piece of progression there. It can really make or break a race. So let's see what's coming here. What is catfish cooking?
Hopefully not a rock.
It's not a rock, but that's a good catfish check, definitely. Bow is a big find.
Okay, then we can finish both Eastern and Pod. Well, not quite logically without the lamp, but they can definitely go for it.
It is on the table, certainly. And even if they want to hold off, just having that bow in that remote location, I think that pretty firmly puts OC in a very large lead at this juncture. Unless Cynas makes the similar check. Looks like he's heading to back of escape right now, though. So, see what goodies await back here.
As I recall, when OC did it, there wasn't really much, and
This is already known.
And I don't remember if OC checked the Dark Cross. Mind you, that is a pretty painful check without the lamp.
It certainly is. You either got to fight key rats in the dark or get through the snake hallway in the dark. Yeah.
Mind you, if chat can correct me, I'm thinking Dark Cross might be the key, so OC might not go for it. I'm not completely sure because that wasn't item counting through Hyrule Castle.
Alright. Old man rescued out of logic. He's carting some super missiles around.
Or as the tablet and pedestal text will call it, the flying bombs. Oh, speaking, chat was kind of predicting this. Aussie was gonna take a look in Norfair and see what's up here.
The one free check, it's almost like a cave check for Link to the Past. If you get here without Morph Ball, just quick duck in, duck out. Nothing good in Croc Escape either, just a little piece of love. And sure enough, just straight back to Link to the Past. Far, far more that's doable here. Doesn't take the time to check Spectacle Rock. That's a little interesting.
Yeah, he went out of his way to check Catfish, but not Spectacle Rock. That is kind of weird.
So hopefully that one doesn't burn him, but that was literally all he could do up there. And he did get the Mountain Cave checkpoint, so getting back there again won't be too arduous of a journey. Looks like playing over to the desert area. Meanwhile, Cynas is cutting south into Village of Outcasts, flexing that Dark World muscle. OC's putting some money together for the Zora check by the looks of things here.
Yep, this is 50 rupees per visit, so he'll just farm this and then go to Zora to probably take the portal from Lake Hylia.
Stops at 350, that's a little interesting. Let's see. Meanwhile, Cynas running around Village Outcast, opening up Thieves Town. Probably going to make the dip into there after taking out these checks. There was nothing at the chess game, just an arrow upgrade and C-shaped house. Probably go down and check the brewery before diving the dungeon.
And there was only a big 20 at Desert Ledge.
See what our friend Agin is hiding. Another very out-of-the-way check.
Yeah, I like how LC is just getting rid of those super out of the way checks, but it's still kind of puzzling he doesn't check Spectacle Rock.
With the checks he's making, it seems an interesting choice, certainly, not to make that one check when you're just a little step away. Ooh, a sword in the brewery.
I don't know if that was slashes of happiness or slashes of rage. Then again,
Well, you gotta test it out.
that too. You kind of wonder what drunken person made that sword in the brewery.
Okay, and as predicted, Cynas heading into Thieves here. 4 items in the front, one of which is always the big key, and 4 total unique items in the dungeon.
Plus, he has the hammer, so he can check the big chest, so he doesn't have to worry about the double
Oh, and
dipping.
there is Morph Ball. So this
Eh.
was definitely the play there. Wouldn't be too surprised to see him head to Super Metroid 2 in short order here, but in here might as well finish it off. Got all the tools you need. That sword pickup will also be helpful in the blind fight.
Yes, even Fighter Sword blind is better than Hammer blind.
Hammer blind. They do have that can of Burna too, which is a useful thing for if it's your one weapon. It's not a bad one weapon to have. Because no matter what with blind, it's just 9 hits. Got to get those 9 hits. Doesn't matter what they are.
See, deciding to do a Skull Woods check first. Only finds a small key so far. He's gonna check. I believe some might call this the prison, the Skull Pot prison, because of how the monster is trapped. Yet another key.
Key heavy at the start, and then the map. Okay. And that's going to be all for here. There is the room of requirement, but that is 100% guaranteed to be a small key every time. It's a room you're hoping not to go into. And he's not going to bother with the big key chest, vanilla big key chest. That's the only other one he can check at this juncture. It's a fairly slow check unless you have the cane. The Gyptos can wreck your day there, and that Wallmaster is not your friend. Peeking the ledge.
Upper cave has just a big 20. No cape required.
And assuming down into Village Outcast, he's going to get his sword and most likely his Morph Ball as well.
Yeah, the thieves. I wonder where the thieves got their portal technology to steal the morph ball.
Well, they're thieves. Obviously, they stole it. They don't necessarily know how it works, but it's theirs. They got it. Okay, and admittedly wasn't watching Cynas too closely. Not sure if anything of interest has popped up other than the Morph Ball and Thieves here. But making his way through the dungeon.
Yeah, making good time. No real issues. Not even the hellway. There hasn't been anything major besides that morph ball afterwards.
Well, in the early goings of the game, if you're going to find one major dungeon in a dungeon, Morph Ball's a pretty good one to find. Start of a seed is almost always dictated by the search for those 2 orbs. Gotta get that Morph Ball, you gotta get that Moon Pearl.
And sometimes you have to make some ballsy plays to get them. Luckily, I think we're running normal logic and not hard logic for this tournament.
This is a normal logic tournament, yes. So there's a lot of sequence breaks and things like that the players can do, but very few of them are required. Link to the Past logic is the same between normal and hard, and we require no glitches, so no dark rooms, no fake flippers, or anything like that will be required. Large logic differences in Super Metroid. There's a whole mess of tricks in hard logic that the game will expect you to be able to do, not so much in normal. A few tricky things, though, that the Super Metroid does expect you to do in normal logic. We'll see if any of those come up along the way here.
Mostly something like the infinite bomb jump, which, considering they got the morph ball bombs, that's gonna be pretty useful.
There's one that comes into play. That is their infinite vertical, the morph ball bombs, which does put a lot of locations into logic, and well, better know how to bomb jump. Really, the long and the short of it there.
Yeah, not just in Super Metroid, but also Link to the Past. Mind you, the Link to the Past one is not really required by logic.
Okay. Cynas coming through the blind fight. Gonna finish it off with the cane here. On 2 hearts, probably not a bad call.
And what does blind drop? It's just some bombs. But he did get one of the 5-6 crystals, so that's a nice find to get into Pyramid Fairy, see what she has. Of course, they need to beat Desert first.
Crystals are always a good find, definitely. You can never be too unhappy when you complete a crystal dungeon. That's just one step closer to Ganon's tower. Okay, and Cynas is going to continue south here. See what the dig game's all about. Probably complete the loop around, grab Stumpy and Hype Cave. We'll see if he swings north after that for Pyramid Legend, hopefully Catfish for his sake. He gets that bow that evens things up pretty nicely between the two of them.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely need that bow, with both Pod and Eastern being crystals. And just the quiver, I think that might be a quiver upgrade for Cynas, for the dig game, excuse me.
Look to be yes, and not even gonna take the time to scoop it up, just walking right on out of there and seeing what our pal Stumpy has.
I wonder if it'll be some good wood. And it's just $50.
Okay, and as predicted, heading down to Hype Cave. Osse coming up on his blind fight.
So Cynas is gonna finally get his flippers and blue boomerang. Let's see how Osse does with the blind fight. Oh wait, he didn't check the brewery and get the sword yet. Interesting.
Does not look like it, so it's a hammer blind. He does also have that cane though, so he'll be able to finish this one off with that if need be. Oh, straight up hammer strats. Got the job done.
Okay, yeah, that was a little scary near the end since he was sticking to hammer, but he's a better runner than me, considering I don't run any games, so... So, Cynas is going north. Is he gonna go to Pod, or is he gonna go to Pyramid Ledge and Catfish? Oh, it looks like he's
Looks
at
like
least going to
Pyramid Ledge is the start. So we'll get that E-tank there. Most likely we'll take the time to scoop it up. Not too many of those have shown up yet. If he makes a swing up to Catfish, these two will basically be at parity at that point. Nope's out on the E-Tank. Trusted in his Super Metroid game, I can respect it. And from here, oh, he's going to pod by the looks of things.
Oh, this is not going to be a good play for him.
It's a respectable decision. I can definitely see where he's coming from with it. It just happens to be the wrong choice in this instance.
Yeah, it'll feel like a forced double dip of both east side dungeons.
Really, the best thing that could happen to him here is that pod ends up being bow locked. Unless he's feeling saucy with a potion glitch, that's as far as he can get.
Yeah, he could do that, and looks like we have another major divergence as Ossie's going to go back into Super Metroid. With that Morph Ball, he's got a lot of checks on hand.
Morph Ball opens up so much in Super Metroid. They got themselves a couple Power Bomb packs, they've got some supers. Going straight to the gauntlet. And those wall jumps there, a lot harder than they look.
Yeah, especially ironically, but especially with high jump from what I remember.
Okay, and see, Gauntlet fairly dangerous when you're on Power Suit. That acid will kill you and kill you quickly. So Ossie getting through just no problem. It looks like Cynas is going for the potion glitch over here in Pod.
Ossie, meanwhile, deciding that the bounty hunter life isn't lucrative, had to take some 50 rupees from the gauntlet.
Well, they gotta have better stuff in the back. Gauntlet can't just be hiding 50 rupees. Alright, gonna take out the top blocks, line it up on the bottom row, and we have Fisher Price First Shield and a heart container. Not exactly the payout you're hoping for.
Meanwhile, Cynas gets the potion glitch very well, no issues there. And only 20 rupees at the Terminator.
Now, interestingly enough, these two checks here, they will be in logic. It's just that Cynas doesn't know it yet. They're not in Cynas logic, but they are in the game's logic. So he thinks he's getting away with something here. But it's just 2 keys. It'll let him go deeper into the dungeon. Should be able to check, assuming you can navigate the dark rooms in the back, he'll be able to check everything that isn't Helmasaur at this point.
Unless, you know, if he finds like the lamp or something in Pod, that'd be ironic.
Lamp could be in here. It could be in the front. Or that lone chest in the back. Not blocked by dark rooms.
So we got the red meringue and a note tank in the early supers, well, part of the early supers area. Mission tank on
Oh,
the
and there's
bottom
Charge Beam. Charge Beam is quite the find.
right. Yes, indeed. They will need less ammo to beat the rest of the game. Just a little less, though.
Just a smidgen. I gotta find some beams to go along with it. Just a standard issue basic shot charged isn't all that powerful. But it does put lower priority on things like supers and regular missiles the rest of the way here.
And that was a nice find for Cynas. He just found the mirror.
Mirror is a good find, especially in Pod. Pod's a good dungeon to have the mirror for. While not strictly required, it does make the navigation much faster.
Especially when you don't have the hammer to get out of the bull-locked side.
It's nice from the big chest too, especially. You're kind of off in no man's land when you make that check. See what the Edacoons are hiding here. Just some missiles.
Not gonna pass it up, though.
That's right in front of your face. He was also trying to set up for the mock ball out of there. Get the speed up so he doesn't have to drop down there and do those wall jumps. The tiny time saver, but Super Metroid is really all about tiny time savers. Tiny time savers add up over time. It's just little movement optimizations.
Yeah, unfortunately, I only got a Mach 0 on that ball.
Yeah, that was a mock ball right there. Faux mock ball, if you will. But just a few seconds. Certainly not the end of the world. Heading up to Mission Impossible here. Outside, it's like we're just an arrow upgrade. It's fine. But what goods lie inside? Playing it a little careful with the big hoppers. Those things hit like trucks when you're in the power suit. Definitely to be treated with fear and respect. Got by those two just fine.
Meanwhile, Cynas hasn't found anything in the Dark U and the Harmless Hellray, so he's gonna check out Dark Maze, see what's in there.
Dark Maze is definitely one of the harder dark rooms in the game.
Yeah, it's good to have maps for these dark rooms so you know where you're going.
Got something, he's not sure what it is. Ooh, boots in Pink Brinstar Hopper room. The happy family. Holding on. They like to go fast. They hop around pretty quick. They like to go fast. So that's a fantastic find for Osse over there. Also notably out of logic. They don't have Wave Beam yet, but there is a trick you can do to get that gate open. Very well executed.
Yeah, only one try, and without the high jump boots, it's a little harder to do that trick. Without the high jump boots, you have to step just slightly out of the doorway, but once you get it, it's not too bad.
Alright. Spore Spawn wasn't hiding anything of important. Don't feel too bad stealing it from him, you won't miss it.
Okay, Cynas seems to be a little lost in the Dark Maze right now. It's good to have a sword, at least to navigate through the Dark Maze, but even then, it's still pretty tough.
It's a difficult room, definitely, when you can't see what you're doing. And once you're lost, it's a little tricky to get back on track. We'll see if he can manage it here, though. Osse with a big old mock ball into Green Hill. Ductwork's only got 50 rupees hiding in it.
Interestingly, not going to the meme room, he's gonna check Red Tower instead. Because some players, they decide to go do that check. They do Gauntlet and then go around the same way that Osse went and go through the meme room. Oh, there's a red mail for Cynas, so that was a good find.
Little extra survivability, got himself back on track, and we'll see what the big chest holds here. Just a pack of missiles. Wasn't counting items for him, so I'm not sure if Helmasaur's holding anything.
He has all the dungeon items, so yes, Helmasaur has something.
Okay, and it looks like Cynas is choosing to walk it out, which leads me to believe he's going to walk up and check Catfish from here. Not sure what else the walk would indicate at this point. It'll probably be it'll be bittersweet seeing that bow at that point in time.
However, he will be happy having that mirror so he can do the Zora checks at the same time.
There is that, definitely. Little extra incentive to head up that way. Osse heading over to Kraid. Getting the first Super Metroid boss off the list here.
The question will become, are we going to see some DLC or not? We do get a cape though, so that's a nice find. However, Bumper Cave doesn't have anything worth, so it's not going to be that useful.
As far as safety items go, the cape's a good one to get. Helpful in a lot of boss fights. Helpful in things like Spike Cave.
Oh, Cynas, what are you doing? Don't. Okay, good. I was wondering if he was gonna buy a potion, because that was gonna be below his 500 needed for Zora.
There's 300 in the waterfall. I'm calling it now. Calculated. No DLC for Osse. Very nicely executed quick kill. Kraid apparently does not know the stand-up glitch.
Aw, but Kraid wanna show off his prom dress.
Maybe next year, Kraid. Maybe next year. Okay. And oh, what? Mirroring before catfish actually pops up through the rock. Did not get the item.
I'm thinking that might be a misclick. I'm hoping I'm right on that.
We'll see if he makes that beeline for that portal when he gets out of here. Let's see. Meanwhile, in the warehouse E-tank room, we have power bombs.
And the waterfall fairy gives up green goo, so that's a nice little refill. Use that cane of burn again.
Alright, looks like he just got a little trigger happy there. He wasn't really thumbing his nose at old catfish here. He is going to take the time to see what the check has to offer.
I think catfish would be doubly annoyed by being ignored.
He is not happy with that catfish. He is certainly not happy with that catfish.
he sent a bomb as well.
There's only one way to go fishing. Alright, but looping this in with the Zora checks up here. Just missiles on the ledge. Osse cleaning out the high jump area.
Let's see what our scamfish has for today.
Just a little bit of love. Don't say you can't buy love. Evidence to the contrary. Okay, so Osse back in Link to the Past here. Gonna make the Spectacle Rock check that he did not make previously. He still doesn't have the mirror, so he can't actually get up top yet. Half magic. That's definitely a nice to have. But is it worth the detour? Osse says yes.
I would say so. Using half magic with the cape or the cane of burner, that'd be pretty good.
Oh, I'd jump on that. I certainly would. But some players might want to flex that muscle. Be like, nope, not worth the 20 seconds. Well, setting up for this bomb jump.
Not quite understand. Oh, actually, you know what? I know what he's trying to do. He wants to go back to Super Metroid through Upper North Fair.
Let's see. Well, it seems if that was his plan, he's abandoned it.
And then again, that bomb jump is pretty hard, so I'm not surprised. Also, thank you, Gimli Dwarf Lord, for the tier 1 sub for 3 straight months. Thank you for joining with Speed Gaming, for subscribing to Speed Gaming.
Osse, no doubt, looking longingly at that speed booster on the hilly island. Can't collect it yet. Let's see. Now, Cynas looked like he was heading back to Pod, but he might actually have been reminded that speed booster is the thing, and a thing that he wants, and a thing that he can now get with the mirror he found in Pod. Gave him just a little bit more versatility when he makes his first trip to Super Metroid.
Well, technically second trip, but who's counting?
Well, that's where he started. He made the trip from Super Metroid. It's the return to Super Metroid, part 2 of the trilogy.
Don't you mean a link to Super Metroid?
Oh ho ho ho! See what you did there. Very clever bet. Alright, Osse's gonna get his Zora checks out today by an ass. Flexing that new speed booster muscle.
Yeah, I gotta check this power bomb door in the upper right area of criteria.
Just 20 bucks. I imagine the going rate for power bombs is more than 20 bucks. Not the best purchase.
Yeah, well, at least it's not as bad as that heart transplant from the Zora.
Well, you can't buy love, but Zora says you can try. Okay.
Okay.
Cynas looked like he was heading for the gauntlet there, but then turns it around.
He's going for a speed booster. Or rather, Shine Spark, excuse me.
And normally it's to set up with a screen wrap glitch, but you need Wave Beam to get that set up. So this is sort of a build your own screen wrap, so to speak.
So while Cynos was saying that, Osse checked the bonk rocks, didn't find anything there. I'm just gonna go and finish Eastern right now.
Might as well. It's Crystal. You got to come back here eventually.
It's only bad that he didn't go to pot first, but then again, he doesn't know the mirror is there. So
Yeah, that would have been a pleasant surprise, certainly. This is definitely the higher percentage play.
might as well take down the relatively easier dungeon to beat.
And the Stoffos don't even get to jump out and say boo. Everybody turned their nose up at the Fisher Price shield. It's not such a bad little shield, just needs a little love.
It just needs a little bit of shine and polish, that's all. See, not needing any lamp or fire rod, making short work of that dark room there.
It looks like he headed over to the Rupee room. Oh, we didn't have money for Pod. That was actually a very smart play. Good game knowledge and good awareness of his rupee count. So he hasn't been to Pod yet, and he needs the 110 to pay off the extortionist monkey.
Yeah, I forgot to check it.
So, and gets through that dark room, no troubles. Cynas doesn't need a mock ball, but he's going to anyway. Swag is always important.
Yeah, it's just muscle memory. Interestingly, Cynas decides to take the no tank. That's not something that you normally see, but
Once you get up to the 5 tank range, the reserve tanks Like if you're running around on 2 tanks, reserve tanks go up in value a little bit. But at this point, like once they find Osse, they're basically set on health for the game. At least they should be.
Speaking of tanks, Osse fights energy tank from Armos.
But more importantly, gets himself his second crystal. 2 down, 5 to go. Still a lot of items lurking out there. And looks like Osse's going straight back to that portal. Gonna head back up and do pod, get his mirror, and assuming he's up for it, polish off the dungeon.
I think he's pretty much ready for it. He can take this one down easily.
That turtle dark room is no joke, though.
Oh yeah, there's that. We still haven't found a lamp yet.
No lamp, no fire rod even. There are torches in that room, which you can light to help things out, but not an option. Fire source is still hiding.
I don't remember, but can one of the medallions affect those turtles?
I believe ether can, but don't quote me on this one. I think they need to be flipped for it actually to take effect. I don't think it can just do it raw.
So while these runners are repeating each other's steps, give them both a follow. They are doing this race for your enjoyment.
Yep, this randomizer is no joke. It takes a lot of talent to play it well. And these two are putting on a show thus far, so definitely head over to their channels, click that follow button. I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
To answer your question, chat, Seabreezy, Osse did check half of Skull Woods, but it was nothing but keys and dungeon items. He didn't check the big key chest and beyond, because, well, no fire rod to do that.
There is still a chance that something good where Link to the Past or Super Metroid is lurking in that big key chest, and that is accessible 100% in logic right now. It's just an annoying check to make, so it has not yet been made.
Yeah, at the time they didn't have, still don't have King of Samaria. They only had the hammer and blue mail and very few hearts. So doing that Gibdo room is gonna be a pain.
Yep. Let's see. One thing that Cynas will have, should he find his way over there,
Well, one thing that Cynas does definitely have is speed burst booster, so he can check the waterway item that Osse couldn't check earlier.
Indeed. Still wouldn't be in logic yet. That's not in logic till gravity shows up, but could be something good back there. Meanwhile, Cynas going for this gate clip here. That looked good. And it looks like he thinks it sounded good. Yep, he got it. Fantastic. Getting him his Pegasus boots. Going fast in all games. Gotta go fast.
To answer your question, Chad, Balthasar, Auto is basically the reserve tank. You can think of it as like a fairy bot in a bottle in Link to the Past. It'll just, once you have some energy in those reserve tanks, it'll refill your life to a certain degree.
Alright, and Cynas is making that waterway play here. Makes the jump out of the kiddie pool nice and easy. That is way harder than it looks. This Shine Spark is also fairly tricky. You gotta be very low to the ground when you do the horizontal to get through there.
Yeah, we don't want any Goop Sparks right now.
I'm a little trouble getting that spin jump. But I definitely don't blame him for taking a few cracks at this one. This is a check that, if you abandon it here, it's very out of the way to get back here again. Spin jump just not cooperating for him. Meanwhile, Osse running through the dark room gets his red mail and is going to get his check on the big key chest here for the lovely missile pack, I believe it was. It's surely what he was looking for all this time. There we go. $300 for his troubles. But really the most valuable thing is the knowledge that you don't have to go back.
Yeah, it's like the other out of the way checks. You don't want this clawing at your mind.
You get to the point where you've got 2 items for go mode and you can think of like 10 different random checks that you just skipped over along the way. And that's a scavenger hunt that's no fun. You want that list to be as short as possible.
Yeah, something so out of the way like a Shack Tool, for instance.
Well, nobody wants to go to Shack Tool. Shack Tool's misunderstood, but one thing that is generally understood is nobody wants to go to Shack Tool. Nobody's there because they want to be. Alright, looks like Cynas is refilling a little bit here, and probably gearing up for the meme route. Meanwhile, Osse gets himself a nice little cutscene before heading downstairs.
Yeah, the meme route has those same side hoppers we saw earlier, and looks like Cynas just debated us.
Yep, just hopping up there for, I guess, an easier time refilling. That was his comfort spot, just to get his health up a little bit, and heading towards Red Tower. See if we go up or down. Alright, and that turtle room we were talking about earlier, Osse is upon it.
Looks like Cynas is gonna go up. He's gonna see if Wreck Ship will be a stack ship today.
On the way, check out the Alpha Power Bombs. He does have everything he needs to get indirect ships, so it's a perfectly sensible play to make at this point. Kraid's not going anywhere, and Osse is through by the sounds of things, just has to make his way up the hellway to Helmasaur King here.
So why is this specific power bomb spot called the Alpha Power Bombs?
Because it's the first power bombs that you get in the game. It's vanilla power bombs.
Okay, that makes sense. I see that correlation with the Omega missiles.
The last missiles you get 100%, even though they're right at the start of the game. Alright, and Osse trying for hammer strats here. I know if this were me, I'd have pulled out my bow.
Yeah, I'd agree with you with that. This is very tricky with that hammer hitbox.
Well, that hammer hitbox, it's another thing that's nobody's friend. That tempered sword damage is nice, but
he still does a very good job. Gets only a missile pack for his shovels, but he does get his 3rd crystal of the match.
3 out of 4. 3 down, 4 to go. Plugging right along. And let's see, we got bombs and super missiles. Add alpha power bombs here. I'm sure he'll check the hopper room above here on his way out, trying for a damage boost. Gets nommed on for his troubles.
I don't know if he should have done that damage boost. I know he saved beforehand, but he's taking a little too much damage in this area.
He's walking a fine line, certainly. Tanks are not active currently. So there is a save room up here. We'll see if he takes it. The spikes from these guys, I believe, only do 5 damage with Power Suit. Oh, he's it's a dicey prospect. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Does not pay off for him. So now it's a question of where was his last save? What all has he done since his last save?
Oh no, he took the save room just
Oh, he took the save there? Okay, I did miss that.
Yeah, he did it before going into Alpha Power Bombs, so he's not gonna be that far.
Okay, so that was a wise move to prove prudent.
Is he gonna go back down? Nah, I didn't think so. He didn't want to waste the time. He's gonna go back to the Mission Impossible room.
Okay, the Powerbomb takes out that side hopper. We'll see if the other two are in the blast radius. From off screen, they're probably still hanging out over there, though. Sure enough. Alright, he gets through. With a full tank to spare. Meanwhile, Osse over here is taking his mirror. Getting some super missiles of his own. Probably going to dip into Hera while he's up here. Now, there's a chance this dungeon is fire locked, and well, if it is, obviously can't progress without a fire source, but let's see what these first 2 chests have for him.
It would probably be a saving race if it's fire locked, since this is a pendant.
Really just hoping for item. He gets that big key. I'm probably going to take it upstairs.
He did find missiles in the basement, so he does have. He only needs to look for one more item. Of course, we can watch it be something trolly like the ice rod, and you still need the fire rod to get it, or maybe the fire rod and you need the lamp to get it.
So many possibilities. And then there's just the knowledge that Hera Basement has an item. Pendant Hera Basement has an item. But not to be. Hera is off the worry list. Alright.
Time to check.
Cynas flying over the moat. Floating island for Osse, just 20 bucks. Got both players covering some new ground for us here. See who's on the right path here.
More power bombs is good. He now has enough to do crystal flash.
Always a plus, definitely. Good thing to have in the kit. Another bottle for Osse. That green goo is everywhere today.
We must be sponsored by Mountain Dew.
This is a pretty extreme randomizer. Wouldn't be. And gonna give us a bunch of checks here. That Bombos medallion, it could come into play. We do have one crystal dungeon that's going to be blocked by a pendant. So that might be the only pendant we need. Or medallion, rather.
It's also, interestingly enough, our only entry to Ice Palace so far.
And it does substitute for the fire rod, though. I think the real gem find here on this side of Death Mountain was that Varia suit that he just picked up. That's going to open some doors on the Super Metroid side of things.
So now, so we got both a fire and a fire resistant. Or a fire causing and fire resistant.
You always got to have proper protection when you're playing with flammable material. So it was very responsible of the seed to put those so close together.
Okay, I think OC is gonna go check a spike cave since he has 2 invincibility items, plus he has the hammer and power gloves to get through.
Yeah, and with half magic, this is a non-issue with his heart count.
Cynas having a little bit of issues with the slow patterns from Fantoon. He does get a Doppler there. Misses on the fast though.
Fantoon is a jerk. It's one of those universal truths of Super Metroid. And gets a couple extra in there.
Oh, that's such a good find in Spike Cave. He got the hook shot.
Oh, hookshot and Spike Cave. That's spicy.
And now and he's beelining to it. Osse's gonna go to Swamp. We just opened up Swamp.
6 items in there. It's never a dungeon you'd rather go mode. If there ever was a dungeon you'd rather go mode, it and Ice are certainly the two big ones. But I mean, 6 items is not something to be ignored when the seed's giving you everything to do it. So Cynas wraps up his Fantoon fight. Gonna see what bounty the wrecked ship holds here. Yes, the out-of-the-way checks, though, paying off for Osse. He's got the bow at Catfish nice and early. Spike Cave, it's definitely not the most on-the-way check there. Paying off with the hook shot. See if he finds grapple in here. Grapple and gravity just makes the beeline for Shack Tool. Ignores everything else in Meridia.
Yeah, otherwise you need the Ice Beam and some really nicely timed enemy placement.
That ice clip into Spring Ball area it's a tricky trick, definitely a tricky trick. Positioning there is very precise.
So far, just money with the first few wrecked ship checks. Cynas taking the 300 because why not? Need some potions.
Yep. Might have to buy that big bomb later. It's possible. And taking the save here, probably going to be headed over to Spiky Death Room. Spikes and Sadness, as I like to call it. Ooh, he's going to be trying to set up this short charge here.
No gravity, that makes sense. But he decides to do the, what was it called again? I can't remember that room.
Let's see. This is the, called the Spiky Death Room by most. I'm a fan of Spikes and Sadness, though, which leads over here into Sparks and Sadness, because there is truly nothing in this room but Sparks and Sadness.
I meant the sponge bath. That's what I was talking about, the sponge bath room.
Oh, the room prior, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he was able to do that wall jump easily, so you typically would need gravity to get there, but these runners are good.
Okay. And just missiles after that long trek. Gonna take the hard reset, go back to a save rather than try to trek those back.
And well, Water Palace was swamped with a good item. That was the plasma beam on the Osse side. Right, I believe in the compass or map chest. I can't remember which dungeon item what it was.
I believe that's the compass. I'm not as up on my vanilla Link to the Past as I maybe should be, but I believe that was the compass check. But Plasma's definitely a good find. Far and away the best beam to get in Super Metroid. And he's got Charge as well. Charge Plasma is a very helpful thing to have and is 2/3 of the microwave beam that everybody loves so well. Unless you happen to be Fantoon, Dragon, or Botwoon, in which case it's the bane of your existence.
Yep, they just need the X-ray scope to complete that beam. So what we're talking about with the microwave is that because Plasma is locked behind Dragon, you're not supposed to have Plasma when you beat to face off against Croc, Bottoon, and Dragon. So you can use the Charge, Plasma, and X-ray scope to affect their to use all the damage frames that Plasma has and do some really nasty glitches with them. That is a very good one-shot kill, I mean.
Yeah, microwave beam, quick and easy, definitely. Now, Fighter Sword Argus fight. The puffs take multiple slashes to kill. Using the spin strats here. Getting through nice and clean.
So it looks like the Attic and the Speed Booster room of Redshift had nothing, so Speed Booster not required there. Not liking Cynus's health though, because he has to get to the bowling room.
Well, you'll probably stop and recharge. There's an enemy generator spot just before the room before the bowling room. Let's see, trying to get on these Starship Enterprises here. Probably doesn't have the health for a Shine Spark. Well, he might just bomb jump his way up there. There, he's got it. I swear that first bomb jump feels like luck. Once you get the first one, it's pretty easy to get the rhythm, but that first one can be tricky.
Meanwhile, Osse did not just get his 4th crystal. He found the lamp on Argus. So that's an interesting find. So you had to go get the bow from Catfish to get the mirror from Pod, then go to the left east side of the mountain to Spike Room to get the Spike Cave to get the hook shot to get the lamp. That's pretty interesting.
It's quite the chain, certainly. Quite the chain. And Osse heading over to do the part of Swamp that everybody hates. Nobody likes left side Swamp. But at this stage in the game, there's so many items you need. You can't really be skipping checks like this.
Yeah, and that he found the map in the north side, so he knows there's at least one item in the west side.
And Cynas, as predicted, also getting his health up, getting ready to do some bowling.
Now the question is, will the gravity suit room have a strike for him, or will it just be a bust?
And he makes it.
Interestingly, not doing the damage boosts.
And meanwhile, we've got on the left side of Swamp. By the looks of things, he was counting, and that was number 6.
Yep, the other item on that west side is just the compass.
Okay, so Swamp hanging out with obviously the crystal, but lamp and plasma, definitely two very nice to haves, but neither one really. The lamp opens a number of things logically, but Osse's already demonstrated here that dark rooms aren't that big an issue for him. Ice Beam at good old K45.
Well, Cynas found the Air Jordans in part of the path from bowling. So he doesn't have to deal with the bowling shoe ugliness.
Oh, Mitts got found. I missed that. So Titan Mitts is a big find. Definitely a big find. Never mind. Full-on hoistability.
Yes, the water palace was definitely swamped with items.
Womp womp.
So while wreck ships seem to be the lesser of the plays, even though you do have the high jump boots, that's pretty much quality of life at this point.
Hammer all the stakes into the ground for 20 bucks. Seems like a job for the kid next door and not the person trying to liberate the nation from the rule of an evil pig.
Meanwhile, Cynas is going to go to Bomb Chorizo. Unfortunately, he has to download that DLC because he has the SM bombs. But he gets a red Master Sword for his trouble, so that's good.
Sword upgrade's a definite plus. Master Sword to Fighter Sword is not the biggest increase in the game, but it's a very, very nice boost in power and range. The range on the Fighter Sword is something that you don't really realize it too much until you end up in a situation where it's coming up just short for you, but it's ever so slightly smaller than the other swords.
Yes, especially for doing the Ice Palace bomb jump. I know a lot of players that use the sword as their indicator, and it screws them up when they're using Fighter Sword.
Right, no, the first time you tried to do that bomb jump with Fighter Sword, that's a fate that's befallen me definitely, and I was like, why isn't this working? It looks perfect, and nope, it's just your sword's dumb. Is really the long and the short of it.
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to really use your shadow in this case. That's especially if you use the different sprites. Speaking of, we forgot to mention this, but Link to Pass does have the Link to Pass randomizer. I mean, has a lot of different, like nearly 100 sprites, I believe, to use. However, I don't remember if the combo rando allows for the different sprites.
I've seen no talk of options to change your sprite in this. I'm not sure if that's a feature that's in the works or if it's just you've got 2 games in one, be happy with what you got. Not sure the reasoning there. Ooh, gravity at Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, looks like Samus needs to link back up to Zelda because or rather, Cynas needs to because he needs to get all those items.
Yeah, but that seems like that's the right progression train to be on, certainly. They're both progressing through the game, but definitely Cynas is lacking in the things to push him forward further. He needs to get back to Link to the Past, get himself to Spike Cave. And yep, that'll start the dominoes falling for him. And what's in the lunchbox here? Just 20 bucks. I guess that's a good. I think it's a good place to keep your 20 bucks. I mean, no one's gonna check your lunchbox for money. It's just like, I don't want no ham sandwich. I'm looking for money. Sound reasoning. That Gary, he's a smart guy.
Especially if it's in a hidden compartment in that lunchbox. To answer your question, in Chad Hamal, the second sword was at Bomb Chorizo.
Okay, Cynas gonna go up and give us a check of the Billy Mays room. We'll see if that bomb was high enough. That wasn't, but that one will definitely do it. The way is paved for some fantastic product. Oh, but wait, there's more. So Billy Mays is here for the energy tank. Put order now, and we'll send you 5 of our high-powered power bombs absolutely free. Takes both and gets out of there. Meanwhile, Aussie putting his suits to work here.
Yeah, getting Varia and Gravity, you're not gonna deal with some of the hard logic stuff um, shoot, Suitless Meridia or Suitless or Hell runs in Norfair, so he's not gonna have issues like that.
Yep, no hell runs today. The normal logic will never make you do those things, but sometimes it's the right play to make if you're trying to go fast. And plasma when you have a plasma beam, Crocomire is going to have a bad time.
So you might want to shut your eyes if you have epilepsy.
This game's rated E for everyone. It's fine.
And Croc only had a quiver upgrade. I don't think Osse really wants that.
Not what he's looking for, certainly. But the meme in the community's always bet on Croc. And the last couple seeds I have watched and played, betting on Croc is the right play to make. So we'll see if this holds true here.
I wonder if Osse will take that safety save that's close by and then check the the grapple beam area.
That's one thing that Cynas has found that Osse hasn't is the high jump boots, which make getting this particular check significantly easier. One feature of Speed Booster that you might not know if you just came from the vanilla, if you're just playing the vanilla game, is that it affects your jump height without high jump boots. So you actually jump smaller anytime you have the run button held. Definitely something that you have to adjust for.
Which Osse does with the infinite bomb jump.
Yep, infinite vertical is a thing, all for just a little bit of love. Everybody loves the bomb jumps just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, those bomb jumps only gave you a piece of the hearts. They didn't give you the whole.
The bomb jumps don't want to be here forever. They're okay with being your right now. It's really the long and the short of it there. Alright. What do we have in sine waves today? Just a little more love. A little bit of love in Crocomire. That seems to be the trend here. We still have Vanilla Grapple and Indiana Jones to check.
Indiana Jones, so named because you need the grapple beam to whip up to that area.
Just some power bombs up there. Now we got the big old leap. Again, made a little trickier by not having high jump. That makes that jump significantly more precise than it is otherwise. You just sort of sky up there with the high jump boots. You actually have to time things a little bit without them.
Grapple beam only had 50 rupees, so Osse decides to reset. Crocomire not worth this time around.
Certainly not. This was not the time to bet on Croc. But still no shortage of checks to make in Super Metroid here. Really, with both suits, this game is just his oyster at this point. Got both suits, got speed booster. There's very, very few things that cannot be checked at this point. Really, outside of Shaq Tool, I'm not sure if there's a check that he can't get at this juncture. And even then, he has ice, so he can potentially get that one as well. But I believe everything else is in logic at this juncture.
Yeah, both suits can check both all of Norfair and practically all of Meridia, but he's gonna finish off with a little bit of Norfair. Maybe, I think this is a route to Bubble Mountain, I could be wrong.
Looks like he's going to lower, actually. This seems to be the play he's making here.
Okay, my mistake.
Alright. Looks like he was trying to set up for a short charge there. Let's see. Are we going to see a gravity jump here? Looks like.
So by gravity jump, we mean that he's gonna do a little run, gonna jump, but
Very nicely done.
because you jump higher in water when you don't have gravity. So so when you switch off gravity after you press the jump button, you you jump higher, and then you get the speed of a non-gravity jump and height as well to your advantage.
Yep, using game physics to your advantage, the two different states, the gravity suit state and the non-gravity suit state, coming together like chocolate and peanut butter. Let's see, looking like a green gate glitch. He might be thinking it's time trying to break into the mire area.
Or at least check the mire shed and see what the items are. Not necessarily go into mire.
This could also be a desert play, possibly. Looks like he's going to check the gold chorizo items here.
That actually makes sense because without the book or the flute, he needs to take this route to get to desert.
Yep, and he got that mirror out of pod, so while not a logic-based play, I mean, the desert's something he's going to have to do at some point here. He's still missing a fire source, so he can't complete it. Oh
No,
wait,
he has the lamp.
a lamp showed up. That's correct. I stand corrected.
Okay, Golden Chorizo is holding out. There were Silvers and Kana Samaria in there. I believe Aussie is. Wait, Aussie, did you not see Silvers? Aussie, what are you doing?
He basically has to go back that way. I don't see you breaking into Lower Norfair like that and not completing it. He's probably just going to make these checks and go back, but skipping out on Silvers? Oh, the Silvers, they were behind the space jump block area. He's unable to get those. He needs space jumped in to attack those from the other side. So I'd say there's a very good chance we're going to see Silverless Ganon at this point.
Ah, boo.
Because
I thought you can get there from Shine Spark, but I guess I'm wrong. Never mind me.
Alright, but into desert as predicted.
With that Silvers in that space jump blocked area, I'm wondering how good is Aussie's Master Sword, Silverless Ganon.
That's a tough fight, definitely. It's got half magic for it, which mitigates things a little bit. But Silverless Master Sword Ganon is no joke. But we'll see if we know where one sword upgrade is. Perhaps another one comes along the way. Tempered tones the difficulty on that one down significantly. Because at least you can slash in the first couple phases.
If they can get tempered. Remember, one of those swords is at the Lumberjack Ledge.
This is true, so there's one sword still floating out there. You gotta imagine Ussie's gonna go to Bomb Chorizo eventually. He needs to find at least one more sword upgrade. That's one of the more unheralded parts of Go mode, is you can't beat the game with the fighter sword.
Cynas making a slight error. He dropped down the wrong ledge and went the exit area of Spectacle Rock. But he'll get his half magic while Aussie is still continuing his way to Landmo's 1. Cynas tries to do a hover, doesn't get too far with that idea, unfortunately.
Well, he's gonna walk it out. Recovering with grace. Bomb strats on Lambo, that's an interesting play, certainly. Getting some mileage out of this hammer. Had it since the early game. Definitely being put to use here.
I'm kind of surprised he's not doing NMG strats and just use the bow and arrow, since he has that.
He's making do with this hammer, definitely. He's getting the job done. And Cynas is making the play into Spike Cave. He's going to get himself his hook shot here.
And this is really good routing for Cynas, because now he's able to do Hookshot Cave and the rest of Dark Death Mountain in the process. While Osse gets the second 5-6 crystal and his 5th crystal of the race.
Well, Cynas can't actually go to Dark Death Mountain because he doesn't have the mitts yet.
Oh, right. Never mind me.
These things happen.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Alright, and checking out Meyer's shed. Nothing too spectacular.
Yeah, nothing to admire in that shed.
Womp womp. We're gonna see a dip independent Meyer by the looks of things here. This is another play I can respect because getting back here would be a very long and time consuming process. If you find out there's an item you need in here, that's going to be a lengthy trek if that flute never shows up.
Not sure if I'm liking this play because he still does have a lot of Norfair and Meridia to do, and that would be progression, but or at least the ways into progression, but we'll see.
Well, he's making a bet here, basically. He says that one of these two items in Meyer here is an item that he needs. And this is going to be one of those, like, remote checks. Unless, like, Flute shows up somewhere. It's a case of it's going to take a very long time to get back to Meyer to make checks. You got to go all the way through Super Metroid into Lower Norfair.
Now,
so this goes back to that out-of-the-way check philosophy that has served him well to this point. I mean, he got him a quick hook shot and a quick bow. Let's see what goodies are waiting for him in here.
this is true. Now, the next question becomes, do you think he'll go all the way and beat Vitreous to get the green pendant?
That's an interesting question, certainly. I wouldn't be too surprised if he goes all the way to Vitreous, actually. Fighter Sword Vitreous is a kind of daunting task, so he does have 45 arrows. And is not shy with using the hammer, apparently. So, the bigger thing I'll be curious about is, does he take time out for the cutscene chest? How far is he willing to follow this play here?
He's not going there yet. He just found the big key, so he's gonna check the big room here. Probably gonna check the 2 rooms in the east side. I mean, the 2 chests in the east side.
Yep, Lava Chest is finding all the keys. Each and every last key. Alright, and Cynas now has his Varia suit as well. Might be heading upstairs to check the Turtle Rock requirement. Open the portal.
He still doesn't have Titan Smith. He still has to go to Swamp.
Oh, that's correct, yes. See, we both did it, so.
It's been a long night.
Indeed it has. Oh, swag. The Meyer's totally worth it. Got the swag net.
Yep, I gotta use it on swagging them. And is Osse's going to the cutscene.
Gonna take himself a little break. Listen to that little rumble. But you got to figure if he's making this check, he's pretty committed to getting everything out of here. I guess now the question is, he's got one item. So if he finds an item here, does he take the time to go get the green pendant for potentially more prizes?
Well, as you said before, since they don't have the flute, it's gonna take a long time for Aussie to come back to Meyer. So he might just complete the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I'd be of the mindset that Meyer is 100% take it or leave it at this point. If you're going to go in, you might as well do it all. There are still, let's see, like we haven't really done a point where we've taken stock of like what do our players need to make Go Mode happen. We're going to need both rods. Let's see, Super Metroid is 100% completable, so all the Super Metroid items are definitely on the table. We might need a medallion to get into Turtle Rock. Okay, it looks like Ether in the was the final item here, and he is going to go down and take on Vitreous here, get himself his green pendant.
Actually, he got Quake Medallion. That was a misclick on our tracker.
Oh. See, I was watching the tracker. That'll get you. And he needs a sword. We do need a sword upgrade. 100% required.
Yeah, so as you said, both rods, a sword, and yeah, that's about it for Link to the Past. They would like to have the silvers, but you need Space Jump for that. Space Jump would be quality of life item for Super Metroid, so yeah, Super Metroid's pretty much completable.
Yep, so I mean the list is getting shorter here. We still don't know what that Turtle Rock pendant is yet. So it's a case of with two pendants in tow, might have what he needs already. It might still be floating out there. Might need that Ether pendant.
I think you mean Ether Medallion.
Medallion pendant. Like you said, it's been a long night. Bomb strats on Vitreous, huh? That's interesting.
He probably doesn't want to use too many arrows in the start and wait till later on.
Soften him up a little bit.
Now, if Link can only use the power bombs here,
Better blast radius, certainly.
Looks like Osse's gonna mix in some spin strats, but he's gotta be a little bit careful. Okay, now he's using the cape. He only had 3.5 hearts, and that would have hurt a lot.
Indeed it would have. That lightning is no joke. Alright, and imagine he's going to switch to bow here for the home stretch. There it is. I believe it's 8 arrows, and see you later, Vitreous. Give me my pendant. And my map. He knows where he's going now. It's important. Always got to know where you're going.
Really? I thought that was a burrito.
I'm pretty sure it's a map. Pretty sure it is. You could use it to roll a burrito if you'd like. That aged parchment, extra flavor. Okay, so you imagine he's going back to, going back to the job done.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to Gold Chorizo Room. Gonna set up a Shine Spark, because no space jump, he won't be able to get out otherwise, unless he wants to do infinite bomb jumps, which is too long.
Shine Spark is significantly faster. Very fitting since it comes from the item called the Speed Booster. They don't call them speed bombs.
Meanwhile, Cynas is doing his North Dark World checks. Gonna be getting his gravity suit very soon.
Yep, he'll be happy to see that, but opens up a lot of doors for him. And the question will be, will he stay in logic with things, or is he going to make a play similar to Osse over here and break into Lower Norfair?
Well, I'm worried about Cynas skipping out on going to Swamp Palace that time you went to Dark Dam area, so that making me a little bit worried.
There's definitely goodies in Swamp that he will need to go forward. And like people talk about reading the seed, and if you're reading the seed, it's definitely screaming Swamp at you. Though those items can be anywhere. You play enough rando, you'll definitely run into more than a few occasions where it's like, oh, we gave you everything to do this. This has nothing. Absolutely nothing. Congratulations. So you can only put so much stock in reading the seed, but
Especially if they're giving you so many items, like the suits just now, and then like we were talking about the hammer, hook shot, and the mirror to get the swamp.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a long list of items that get you into Swamp Palace, and so you just throwing all of them at you fairly early. Well, 3 out of the 4, and then you get the last one in the hook shot. I mean, it's got to at least enter your head that Swamp is the play, but now you've got both these suits, so much of Super Metroid is open to you. I mean, he's got options. It's just really a question of which breadcrumb he decides to follow.
Well, at least he's getting his ice beam from K45.
Certainly nice to have. A little extra stopping power. Never hurt anybody except your enemies.
Interesting that Osse decided to do a charged regular bomb to get through those blocks instead of using a power bomb.
I will say from playing a bunch of these seeds, it's easy to forget that you have regular bombs when you get them early. It's just you get into the habit of power bomb and everything because it's your only option. But regular bombs are definitely useful. They explode faster, they cause less lag. It's better to use them when you can.
So Osse deciding to go with super missile strats against these ninja pirates, golden pirates. What are they called again?
I think the canon name is Super Pirates, but I don't know. I just call them the Kung Fu Fighters. They have a mighty Kung Fu kick for you. So damage boosting over to the eye, and he's just going to go straight in. Has enough supers to do it with just supers. It's 30 supers to kill Ridley. But that charged plasma beam might see a bit of a workout here too. We'll see how he goes. It's like supers.
I would imagine that the supers would have a faster DPS compared to the charge beam combo that he has.
You can shoot him out faster, certainly, and Ridley does take double damage to supers. And you get locked in this pogo pattern, you can just unload on her. And that should be close to it there. Yep, she's dead. Ain't nothing left but the crying.
At least it's not the crying in the Game Boy Advance games. Ugh.
That's quite the screech, definitely. Quite the screech.
And it looks like we pulled off a heart transplant on Ridley as well.
I mean, yeah, Ridley got herself a black market Link to the Past heart, and yeah, had to die for it. Punishable by death. Cross-game transport. Samus didn't Link her just doing services and getting the items back where they belong. That's the story of this randomizer.
Well, Samus is a bounty hunter, so I'm kind of wondering if there was a bounty on Ridley's heart.
Oh, she's in it for the money. All the time. Seen all the rupees that they're hiding in Super Metroid here.
So Cynas finding his first big item in Swamp, getting that plasma beam. Looks like he's immediately checking west side.
Yep, going straight to that left side.
This actually makes me slightly worried because the big key was in the waterfall chest. He might not go back for it. I'm hoping I'm wrong on that.
I kind of doubt items are going to get abandoned at this stage and things. There's still a lot that he's missing here. So I'm willing to bet you'll see the stumble back from that big key to get the big chest, and it will pay off definitely. We know this, and but I imagine it's going to happen.
Speaking of paying off or lack thereof, there was just a big 20 at the Firefleet room. And I imagine. Go ahead.
See what's over here. Just some super missiles. Don't have to deal with the spring ball maze.
I imagine that OC is going to check all of Bubble Mountain first before going to Meridia.
Oh, there's one of the things he's looking for. Got that ice rod.
Ironically, in the hottest place in Zebby's.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Last place you'd look for it. Now he's got to watch his health here. Getting on the lower side. Should be okay with both suits. And there's that flute.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to take it a little careful. He doesn't have the wave beam, so he has to shoot from that that gap in the floor and ceiling.
Yeah, you got to position yourself just right there. If you hug the wall, you just get shot. They'll just drop right on you. And those Kaihan, they hit like trucks. But he's out. Shouldn't be anything too dangerous the rest of the way here. Gonna
Plus,
clean up the Bubble Mountain checks and probably head to Meridia from here, I'd imagine.
yep, gonna check. I believe is this wave beam room or is that another?
Yep, this is Vanilla Wave right here. So, missiles out front. Is this even randomizer? And a shovel. I guess it reminded, yes, it is in fact randomizer.
Now, whether Osse wants to do a fetch quest, that's a different matter.
Let's see. I'd be in no hurry to chase that one down. There's still so much to do in Super Metroid. Probably your highest check density at this juncture.
Not to mention for the speed purposes, you might as well do it on what's on your way right now.
Yeah, the Norfair checks do definitely loop conveniently up into Meridia. And still missing those high jump boots, but makes Meridia a little more difficult without that or space jump, a little harder time traversing. But it definitely has the tools to get it done.
Meanwhile, Cynas did find that big key, rage slashed at it, not too happy about it. Again, still worried that he might not go back for it. Meanwhile, Osse just found the fourth bottle. It was right up before the speed booster room.
Alright, Cynas gonna get through this Argus fight a little easier thanks to that Master Sword.
Yeah, neither of them decided to use RPG menu strats. Or rather, turn-based RPG menu strats. This isn't Final Fantasy. To answer your question, Chad high jump boots was just after bowling, Terizo, in wreck ship.
Yeah. Medora in the Norfair Reserve area. And just some money on the backside here.
Book of Medora. Should we check pedestal?
I think it's a little early for the pedestal check at this juncture. But it does open up the tablets. Well, you can check them with the fighter sword. That's another thing that he can't actually acquire. You need at least Master Sword to get the goods from those. Well, let's see here.
Oh no, Cynas, go back to that swapping chest. No.
Oh no. That's gonna be. He's going to do literally everything else available to him before he goes back to that chest. You fail on a chest like that, you're making that commitment. So right now, I'm willing to bet in Cynas issues right now, he probably feels behind. I wouldn't be surprised if he feels behind right now. So he's making that gamble, and it's basically a case if he goes back there, pretty much when he sees that, he's gonna feel all the more defeated. It looks like he's heading up here. You're gonna finish off Pod, which he couldn't do the first trip. Gonna run in and kill Helmasaur.
And then probably follow that with Eastern. Osse in the cathedral found some magic powder. I don't know why priests have drugs on them, but eh. And it looks like Osse decides to go back into Hyrule. I think he's gonna check Turtle Rock, and also he's gonna check Darkside Death Mountain. Darkside Death Mountain.
And there's a bunch of checks to do over here, and there's also just the knowledge of what the medallion is. Without Fire Rod, it's a little dicey. Turtle Rock can be Fire Rod locked if the key layout isn't just right in the front, and you obviously need it for Trinex. Let's see. The Pedestal Dream right now, just to address in chat, we're down to Fire Rod and Ether. Potentially a sword upgrade, but we know the Master Sword exists at Bomb Chorizo. We also know it exists in Waterfall Cave, but that would make it the far and away the most out of the way sword upgrade.
I think you mean Lumberjack Cave.
Lumberjack, yes. Misspoke.
Hookshot Cave having the grapple beam, that's kind of funny. So Hookshot Cave led to a different type of hookshot. And Vanilla Quake is required for Total Rock, so he's gonna take it.
Gonna take a step inside? Gonna open her up at least.
Well, yeah, we found Quake and Myers, so...
Oh, that's a good point. That's an excellent point, actually. So yeah, that was the 500 IQ play right there. Still have yet to see what the pendant pays out with.
Yeah, it's a little... Considering he hasn't activated the flute yet, it is a bit of an out-of-the-way check at the moment.
Indeed. So, but he's gonna pop his head in here, see what he can see.
Oh, we're not Fire Rod locked yet.
Not yet.
All depends on what's in the chain chomp room right now.
Hammer strats for the Pokies. Yeah, Fighter Sword Pokies is Well,
Yeah, that's not fun. Though I do have to ask if ether affects those pokies. Probably not.
I am honestly not sure. Very nice single
And
block strat there, but he is fire rod locked. Got himself a key and a map for his trouble. He'll know where he's going when he comes back.
and right now he's just gotta check on the ether tab. Wow, Cynas just finishes off Eastern the logical way as well, considering that he does have the lamp from Argus. That was space jump, I
Oh
believe, at the
wow,
ether tab.
wow. It's definitely a nice to have, but just fighter sword, you just get to know it's there. That's two nice to have items witnessed but not gettable on Ossie's romp here through Lower Norfair into the Dark Death Mountain with the mire and desert dips through the Lower Norfair portal. Gonna passing that shovel spot by. Looks like he's putting a higher emphasis on getting that flute activated.
I question this routing to get the food activated though. That's a little long.
You figured the sanctuary started certainly.
Meanwhile, Cynas just finishing off the Armos fight.
Doesn't get the quick kill, but gets the job done in a rather quick fashion regardless. And meanwhile, the goose is loose on Ose's side. Duck is amuck, pheasant is present, quail is available.
Oh, so you gotta check another flapper, that is the Batman, see if he has anything for today. And the curse is just a super missile pack.
Alright, see if he remembers that shovel.
Yes, he does. Or so I hope. Maybe he's debating me.
Not sure where else he'd be going.
Let's see what OC digs up. It's the X-ray scope.
Microwave available. Fried shrimp on the menu later.
Fried shrimp and eel, actually.
That's true, he hasn't done Fantoon yet. So he's gonna get full use out of the microwave beam, actually.
Fantoon might be a fried elephant. I was talking about Watoon.
Botwoon? Alright then. He's got the little, eel-like appendages. Ghostly shrimp. Okay. Gonna.
He's checking Balmo's tab.
Yep. Another one he can peek, certainly.
And Cynas is gonna dip into Norfair.
Making use of those suits.
Actually, take that back. I think he's going up to to Meridia. And Balmo's is just a hard container. Not gonna get that.
Okay. Where is Osi heading from here?
I would imagine Pyramid Ferry, because that's the only thing on the way.
That makes sense.
Cynas, let's see what's in Main Street. And it's just a missile pack, never mind that. And power bombs in the crab area.
Yeah, and making his way over to Mott's Hurdle. See what fun thing she's hiding that she won't let her kids play with.
That's normally a reserve tank and the missile tank, right?
Yes. Oh wait, it's not a reserve. I believe it's an E-tank. Reserve's in the sand pit.
Oh, never mind me. Just a couple of red items in Mama Turtle. I thought one of them looked like the wave beam, but I could have been wrong.
I believe it was a big 20. And a heart container up top. And OC mirroring, because mirroring's fun. Deciding how he wants to approach turning in this pendant here.
A little excessive on the frames, but he's the one that's running. That's his choice. We just got some flying bombs, so that's not gonna be helpful.
Not what you're hoping for after killing off a giant eyeball. Like, there's that fire rod. Down in the Meridian Lottery Room.
Speaking of Meridia, looks like Ossie's gonna do a backdoor. I'm glad I predicted that, because he could have gone to ice and I would have looked like a complete fool.
So that puts us, the commentators, and the chat in what they call no mode.
And we mean KNOW mode, not NO mode.
Yeah, no, it's we know how to say yes to go mode, definitely. It's just a case of will the players get there? But first, we're gonna stop for some fried shrimp. Gotta have priorities.
I think you mean microwaved.
Microwave's kind of fried. Just cook it with radioactive beams. Get a similar texture, I'm sure.
So we know. So for Cynas, unfortunately for him, he's not gonna find what he's looking for in the pits. Aussie, he's gonna demonstrate the microwave beam, which I couldn't explain for the life of me earlier.
Well, effectively how it works is you charge up a plasma shot, you fire it off, and you spam X-ray. And basically X-ray, the time you're in X-ray, the invincibility frames of the boss will continue to reset. So you basically keep that plasma shot inside. It does damage on every frame it's hitting. But invulnerability frames obviously cancel that out. But if you cancel the invulnerability frames, then you're hitting every single frame, and bosses die in a hurry if they're vulnerable to it. Works on Dragon, Botwoon, and Fantoon. Spazer Beam, gotta take the time out for it.
Don't know why Cynas is doing that. He did get plasma, but okay. Also, if he
Oh,
didn't
now
notice
he's
what
now he reset out. So
If you also about the microwave beam, if you notice that OC ducked ducked first, that's to indicate when Dragon's done. Because once Dragon's energy is been depleted, Samus will stand up afterwards.
Hmm, that I did not know.
Yeah, it's usable. It's also usable on Bwatoon, but I don't know about Phantoon.
Well, it looks like we're not going to see Bot Wound here. No need to go up there. We know all the items that are up top. Ooh, very nice short charge, but, well, it's so nice we got to see it twice. There it is.
I just wanted to make a tribute to Goop.
That's a pretty swag short charge right there. You gotta show off the swag. You gotta. Like I said, so nice. So very nice. Gotta see it twice. Just have to. Alright, taking the save, which indicates that the sand pits are gonna get checked here by Osse as well. Gonna find a whole lot of not interesting stuff down here. I'm curious if the uses one of these to make the trip over to Shack Tool and Plasma. Two rather out of the way checks.
It wouldn't surprise me since he is still looking for another sword. And the fire rod. Oh yeah, we are still in no mode. He even with the fire rod, OC will not be in go mode yet until he gets that sword.
Needs a sword upgrade. You gotta wonder, it like hasn't showed up yet. He did check the lumberjack ledge early. It's like, is he thinking a late Aga play to get that sword, or is he just hoping one's gonna show up somewhere? Because he does still have all of Turtle Rock, all of Skull Woods, and all of Ganon's Tower to find Ah's sword. But if one doesn't turn up there, I mean, is he gonna remember Bomb Teresa's spot? Is that gonna cross his mind, or is he gonna remember that sword on the lumberjack ledge and go kill Aga before taking on Ganon?
Oh, this is right now. This is just indicating to me he doesn't want to check Shack Tool just yet. So he's probably gonna check the what are those other two pits called? In the north, the upper areas of Meridia.
These up here, I believe they're called the lottery checks, lottery pits. I'm sure I'll be corrected if I have that one wrong. Gets his first reserve tank, smacked right into it. And Cynas doing his Dragon fight, doesn't have the microwave, but supers do just fine.
Also charge plasma. He softened the Dragon with this charge plasma, ice plasma.
Oh, Elminster with the correction, the watering hole, what they call this one. So, but yep, that's where Fire Rod is, and yep, one sword away from go mode right now.
Yeah, how ironic that you find the ice rod in the hot place and you find the fire rod in a watered down area.
It's definitely a little off theme, certainly. So now the question is, do you plug forward and just hope to find a sword along the way in the dungeons you still have to complete? Or do you take the time out for the sword where you know where it is?
It
Well,
looks like he might be doing the Aga play. Because he looks like he's going to exit Merida. He might just go straight to Ganon's tower and hope for the best.
It's a higher percentage play, definitely. There's a lot of checks on the way. You've got all those chests on the ground floor, plus the 4 or so that are just right on your way on the upper floors. Just hoping a sword shows up.
Hopefully on his way to, maybe on his way to, after he gets rid of, finishes a wreck ship, he'll go to to Samus's ship, get the energy refill, but also go to Bomb Terizo since that's on the way to the Criteria portal.
It would be a sensible play, certainly. Definitely a possibility. I think he might do. Alright, meanwhile, Cynas, I'm heading over into Norfair. Don't recall there being much of anything too worthwhile in the Bubble Mountain side of things.
There was Book of Medora and
Book and the Shovel. So he can get himself a space jump, which would give him the logical access to. Well, I believe he already has logical access to Front Door, Lower Norfair.
But-
Easier access, certainly.
but he would also be able to get the silvers.
That is true.
Because none of these runners really want to do Master Sword Ganon.
It's a daunting task, certainly. If you gave me the choice between doing it and not doing it, I would take not doing it every time. Alright. Not opting for the microwave. Oh, there it is. Just a little bit of setup. And gets it.
Thing is, you need to hit Phantom with the missile first before you can set up the microwave.
It'll just disappear right away when hit with charged plasma.
And that's all the bosses down for Osse in Super Metroid. All he has left is Mother Brain, but more than likely he's gonna go to Link to the Past first.
I would imagine. And he's got everything he needs for Mother Brain, but not even gonna check around for the sword in Rex's ship, just heading straight back.
Gonna miss out on the high jump boots, but I have a feeling he's just he doesn't want to use up time on those things right now.
And at this stage in the game, high jump boots are only so helpful with what he has left that's required in Super Metroid. There's only so many big jumps you're expected to make the rest of the way.
So it looks like Osse's just taking a look at the items that are on the way and nothing else.
Might as well take the peek while you can. He does still need that sword. And if you can just confirm it's there, then you can just charge and get that and call it a day. But we'll see if friend bombed. He's remembering the checks he hasn't done in this NECA Criteria. I think this bodes well for him getting his Master Sword in a little bit here.
Yeah, as I said, it is on the way to Bomb Terizo, is on the way to the Criteria portal, so
We get moment of truth here. Oh, just cruises right by.
I guess he considers that a little out of the way.
And is he just heading straight to Torian here? Just gonna polish off Super Metroid while the polishing is good?
I guess this is a fair play. I mean, once you beat Super Metroid, you can get to the criteria portal that way.
Yeah, it's not significantly slower than doing Link to the Past first, certainly, and it does give him time to think about checks he hasn't made yet. Wondering where he knows where one sword upgrade is that he really doesn't want to do it. But where else hasn't he been? Because there's the one on Lumberjack Ledge, but there's two more out there. He just doesn't know where they're at. So it's a question of like, what little one-offs did he skip over? Is he just gonna charge straight through Link to the Past, hope to find a sword in either Skullwoods, Ganon's Tower, or Turtle Rock?
So what has he forgotten in Super Metroid? So there's Shack Tool, there's Plasma, there's Bomb Trizo, and parts the upper half of a wrecked ship. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Front of Meridia, he hasn't checked. Like, he's done any of the main street checks. He didn't do Mama Turtle. Believe he cleaned out Lower Norfair completely. I'm not sure if he checked the climb speed booster item. I'm not. I don't recall if that one got checked early on or not. I don't believe he's done the Blue Brinstar checks, actually. I don't believe he's ever been down there.
Yeah, I don't believe so either. Not even the beam route.
So then you have Billy Mays, Morph Pedestal, everything in that area.
Okay, Osse decides to take the quick baby grab because he doesn't have high jump boots. It's not gonna be very fast to do baby skip without it.
And a Crystal Flash will cure what ails you in a hurry. You got plenty of vanilla missiles. And doesn't even have any like setup you would have to do for his appetite skip. Then you have to take the time of his inventory to turn off Screw Attack, which never showed up. Nice little moonfall there in that room. Save those frames.
Meanwhile, Cynas just beat Croc, and I find out that Croc area was useless. I mean, he does need to go to Meyer, but not to Croco Meyer.
Womp womp. Bomb jumping because you can. And Charge Plasma Ice is going to make short work of Mother Brain Phase 2 here.
Yeah, it's only like 20 shots, I believe. Well, that's with wave, excuse me. See, unfortunately, taking a ketchup beam. Gonna skip out the chicken nuggets. Almost.
And get stand up going.
Yep, a little funny glitch right here. All Osse has to do is stay up in the air when the Metroid shows up, usually with wall jumps, but he's doing whatever he can. And he can use the charge beam to lower Mother Brain's energy in the final phase.
Yep, shave some time off that final phase. You do have to be a little careful. If you're on the ground for the wrong frame, you can soft lock your game.
Yeah, he has to be a little extra careful since he hasn't saved in a very long while.
That is true. That would be tragic. It has been quite some time since he's transitioned between games.
I mean, I don't think he's saved since Meridia, to be quite honest, just before the second check.
Yep, the transfer into Meridia, so he'd have to re-kill Dragon, re-get his Fire Rod, but did not come to be. 2 or 3 shots and Mother Brain will be done.
Meanwhile, Cynas, realizing Croc was bad, he's going to lower Norfolk, going to go after Ridley. Hopefully.
Doing his own gravity jump. Oh, with the high jump, he's going to have a slightly easier time, but just misses on the first one. Break spin before the wall jump.
Yeah, he didn't aim that jump angle properly. Also, he seems to be at the lower platform than what I'm used to seeing. So now we got the escape sequence of Zebby's, which, as you can tell, has no timer. When you beat Super Metroid first in this combo rando, the timer doesn't go off. So when you get to a certain door, to the criteria door, it's going to revert back to normal.
Yep. And one of the changes in the new logic fixed a rarely seen soft lock where the wall in the next room here, you would need bombs, screw attack, or speed booster to get through it. If you managed to beat Super Metroid without those items in tow, you were just stuck in that room. There was nothing you could do about it. But that has been patched out. Credit to the developers. And it looks like he has not forgotten these Orphan Blue Brinstar checks. Still looking for that sword, knows he needs it. This is actually some interesting routing, looping and finishing the game with a couple of checks. Not gonna go all the way down to Blue Brinstar though. Just gonna get the old Mother Brain missile. And go into the roof. And now we ask the question again, does he remember Bomb Chorizo? Remembers Omega missiles. Meanwhile, Cynas did successfully break his way into Lower Norfair. See if he does the gate glitch and check out the mire area while he's down here. Looks like he's setting up for it. 18 supers to make it happen.
Meanwhile, Osse is gonna just head back to Link to the Past. Probably gonna head to Skull Woods, then do Turtle Rock.
Definitely makes sense. I guess he's just gonna hope for a sword on the way, and if he doesn't find one, well, he's gonna go with the sword he knows before taking on the pig. Meanwhile, Cynas did get himself his gate glitch. Gonna check out. Nope. Oh, little indecision. Heading over to Mire area. Gonna hold off on Gold Chorizo for now. I believe that's Skull's second item right there. I'm pretty sure one was found on the trip. So now it's just charged straight to the moth.
No, I thought there was only one. That was the first item. I thought it was only just keys and the map.
I thought there was like a heart piece or something inconsequential in the first trip. I could be wrong. This was about 2 hours ago that check happened.
Oh, see, slightly debating us. He had the mirror out. Thought we were gonna get a pet check, but nope, not happening.
Well, you gotta figure at this point, he's looking for one thing and one thing only. And, well, there's 3 of those one thing onlys, and he knows where one of them is. And it's much faster to get than clearing out all the remaining pendant dungeons.
Yeah, he'll probably find it along as the fourth sword. Well, the fourth sword that we'll know of along the way, or so we hope.
There's a good chance, with what we know, that yes, one exists along the path here. Now the question is, how out of his way is he to go in the checks in Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower to look for that last sword, knowing that he could just rush off, do Aga 1, and collect one.
Also, the other thing that I'm kind of wondering, since it's on his way, do you think he would go to Ether Tablet on the way to Ganon's Tower and get the space jump just to float to the Mire area and go get silvers from the Gold Chorizo area?
I think the question that would strictly rely on how confident he is in Master Sword Ganon Phase 4. If it's something he's practiced and he's ready for, then I see that seems like a lot of time for just a little bit of comfort. If it's something that he's absolutely not comfortable with, well, then maybe it's something he'll feel like he needs to do. I think that's player dependent. But I think if you are confident in your ability to handle a Master Sword Silverless fight, then you just let that one go.
Yeah, I guess that would take a lot of time just to do. Take a lot of time to do that compared to Master Sword Silver's Ganon. To answer your question, Chad, Thoran, neither runner has the silvers. Silvers were above Golden Chorizo, but you needed the area that you need the space jump for. Unfortunately, space jump is at Ether Tab, which is a little out of the way to get it.
Yep, book was in let's see, Bubble Mountain Reserve Room. Which, let's see, Osse got after seeing the silvers. Cynas just recently picked that up.
And Cynas still needs to get those Titans Mid from Swamp. That's the biggest downside he has right now.
Those Titan Mitts are ultimately what's going to do him. It's already a giant mountain to climb. He has a lot of ground to make up if he was going to somehow sneak this one out. But without those Titan Mitts, it's I think it's safe to call this one at this point. But you play them out for a reason. You never know when something weird's going to happen.
I mean, for Cynas, after this, he's probably going to go to Desert, probably do a pet check. But then what else? He's got to think, what else does he have? He might do Fire after Desert, actually.
That's, well, it's to give himself any prayer of a chance. He's walking away from the portal. That's a bad sign. He's also abandoning Lower Norfair with that, all for Agina's Cave. I mean, he does have the book. He could get back to his portal, but that's a trek to that Dark World portal from there.
Yeah, just for what he's doing this just for one item, it's gonna take him a while to get back to Lower Norfair from here.
There's Screw Attack. With Super Metroid over and done with.
Yeah, that was swirly attack is not gonna be helpful.
Definitely not what he's looking for. There's definitely a stage in the seed where you'd be, that's a nice to have, but right now it's, I'd say I'd rather have the Singleton Arrow. Singleton Arrow will see more play at this juncture.
We actually found it earlier.
Don't crush my dreams, man. Don't do it. Alright.
So it does look like Cynas is gonna take the desert, front entrance back to the portal.
It's a long trek, but it is, if he's making the play to a cave, this was the right play to make afterwards to get his portal back. I guess it is his fastest way back to Lower Norfair. We'll see if he dips Meyer while he's at it. As we do know on our side of things, Meyer was required.
Also, OC decided to skip out on Mimic Cave.
I was a little surprised to see that one go by, certainly. It's not the fastest check, but it's right there.
And like you don't want to find out, oh, there's a sword there, at the last when you could have gotten it earlier.
I'd rather check Mimic Cave than Duaga 1, that's for sure. Cynas spies those silvers. Looks like, unless he decides after Gold Trees over here, he's not going to go into Mire.
Laser Briz has a mushroom. I don't think you want to find that. Alright, Cynas need to get the Cane of Samaria from the top of Golden Tree so before he can check Meyer.
Well, we know that, well, he needs the cane, period, because Turtle Rock is required, but it's not needed for Meyer, for what he needs from Meyer. Just spamming that fire rod on the ice head there. Knocking on the door, embracing the lag frames.
Also, to point out, this is very rare for the ice head to shoot straight down.
No, I didn't think anything of it, but now that you mention it, I'm not sure I've ever seen that, actually.
This is the second time for me, actually. So we got our 7th crystal chat. I don't remember we're allowed to do it for this tournament. Should we do the big key game?
I think we should. I think we should. Everybody loves a good guessing game.
The thing that I worry about, it might mix up with the the Link to Past tournament, so I'm not sure if we're allowed. Anyway, you guys can guess in chat. I mean, it might not be official just yet, but guess in chat 1 to 22 where the Gaddistar Big Key is. Put your guesses, chat. Let's see. What do you think, Breakdown?
I personally always go with 13, thinking that's going to be fourth chest in GT. Or not fourth chest in GT. Chest number 13, fourth chest in the rando room. That's generally my pick.
So let's see what 1 and 2 have. If first one, it's gonna be missiles. Second, gonna be bombs. You know what? Now I thought about it, we might see the Ganastar big chest if there are no swords in the first 22. Yeah, there was a key on the torch. You weren't gonna see Bob. Actually, but for the combo rando, Bob doesn't exist. The issue being that it kind of glitched up the combo rando, so they had to unglitch that fairy out.
I'm content to see no Bob. Bob's creepy. I am not a Bob fan.
Yeah, so runners of one kid KO, they don't like Bob a lot. So that was 1 to 8 down. Let's see what the Fire Snake room number 9 has.
It's never 9. Never 9. Trend continues. Alright, and coming up on 10 through 13. Come on, lucky 13.
I still prefer 22 my title room guess.
I'm sure the chat would prefer it too. Oh, 12. I'm so close.
Oops.
Alright. So 12. I see a couple 12s scrolling through the chat here. Congratulations to all of you. It's like, oh, it jumped on me. We got a bunch of happy people. Congratulations to you on your correct guessing.
I believe at Patati Cutie 89 was the first one to guess number 12. Congratulations for that. You get whatever's in the foundation chest.
Validation chest will almost certainly get checked. It could be what saves the AGA 1 play. You never know. Sword number 4 is still out there. Meanwhile, Cynas coming up on Ridley here. See how he fares there. Well, Ozzy deals with the gauntlet. Fighter sword gauntlet.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No, it's not a string of words that I would hope to encounter, certainly.
I mean, it has happened before. There was one time a runner had to beat Gannis Tower with a fighter sword, and they didn't find the other sword still afterwards.
I remember seeing a tournament race where that happened. It was a photo finish of a race. I had to run off hunting for a sword, making those checks after GT. Alright, putting that bow to good use. We aren't seeing silvers, so might as well use those wood arrows.
I'm actually a little worried that Osse101's not checking the rest of the against our basement, because if it turns out there is a sword there, he could have saved himself some time.
definitely could have saved some time. By the same token, if there isn't a sword there, that's extra wasted checks. This is a play I can respect. I can see it going either way on it. Because while AGA 1 is time consuming, it's not especially difficult. And you know there's a sword reward waiting for you at the end of it. Just a quick run across, quick flute and dash into a tree across Hyrule. So I can definitely understand not going too far out of your way for checks in this spot.
That is true. Plus, he can go get some potions, do a quick go mirror to Dark World, do a quick save and quit. I'll be right back at the top of the pyramid.
Yep. I have to say it's some strange endgame routing we're seeing here, but it's a little brilliant in its own right. I'm sure it was the plan all along. So we'll make these checks right here that are on the way after Super Metroid, just in case I need a sword.
Nothing doing there, unfortunately. Let's see what the next room has.
Good old map. Always good to know where you're going. Cartographer at heart, I'm sure.
I'm kind of trolling, but it's not so much.
No falls. That's the big thing at the end of the day. And pull more arrows that you're not going to use. Good job, Validation Chest. You did it.
Oh, there's the Cutie's prize, Patati Cutie's prize.
The ability to hold 5 more pointy sticks. Alright, so now it's time for some trigonometry. Starts off with the goose egg.
Yeah, starting off with a speed spin right at Aiga doesn't sound like a smart idea.
That might have counted as a triple though on that one right there. That doesn't look like it. I believe one more. That'll do her.
So what was it? 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1?
Couldn't tell you the exact count. All I know, stumbled in the beginning but stuck the dismount.
And now it's time to climb Aga Tower.
Bonk to line it up. Glad you grabbed that cape earlier.
No, I didn't realize this is kind of looking like an alt dungeon seed. Mind you, we didn't take a dip in Ice Palace at all.
Nobody likes Ice Palace. That's okay. Ice Palace doesn't count.
Mind you, if that place had the last sword.
Could very well. It could be sitting on Cold Stare.
Yep, Aga for sword. Aussie didn't check bomb Chorizo. Despite having a good time to check it after beating a wreck ship and going to Criteria.
Yep, definitely within sniffing distance of, sniffing distance of the check a few times. Even once it was the only item for Go mode, but this will get the job done, albeit a little slower.
Yes, Darth Slytherin. I love that name, by the way. This is Aga 2 after Aga 1. Despite this not being an all dungeon seed, it's because Aussie doesn't know that there's a sword that bombs Rizzo, and the only other one he knows of is that lumberjack.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's only so often you see the 2 hour and 50 mega play. Definitely not something you see commonly.
Maybe an inverted all dungeon seed, but not like this.
I might have taken the half second out to grab that full magic container, actually, knowing Ganon's on the horizon, but shouldn't be too costly.
Well, you do get a full health and magic refill after you beat Aga 1.
Actually, that's fair. Interestingly enough, not if you don't have Moon Pearl. The bunny gets nothing.
Right, I forgot about that. Cynas, you gonna take a look at the magic bat since he has a powder from Cathedral. Probably not gonna get much of it. Oh yeah, chat, guess with how many blue balls is gonna show up with Aga. And don't just guess one, please.
Well, points deducted for not using the swag net. I could understand on Aga 2, but Aga 1.
I normally guess 15 blue balls is weird. The 20% of the way in. Also, why is he using hammer?
Hammer served him well this seed. I guess he doesn't want to put it on the shelf just yet.
Okay, that was 4 or 5 blue balls so far.
I lost track of the blues.
And it looks like it was 4 blue balls today. Nobody really guessed that actually.
Nick.
So
You know, it looks like Cynas is going to be heading off to Skull Woods, chasing that fire rod that he found.
to answer your question, chat, totally not AG. This is random moon pearl. Sorry, morph ball. So the morph ball was actually found in Big Chest of Eastern, I believe.
That was the Moon
Oh, wait.
Thieves
Right.
Town.
It was in Thieves Town, my apologies. And at 2:53:33, Aussie is finally in go mode.
Yep. And if all well, game done. Go mode to GG in about a couple minutes here. This is a tricky fight, certainly not free. And Ganon is the police, apparently.
Interesting that Aussie doesn't go for some potions, but I guess he's really confident at this fight. And again, I don't think he uses green goo from earlier.
And you should still have at least one, if not two.
Yeah, I believe it was only Cynas that found it.
And I believe one of the fairies along the or the bottles rather had a fairy in it.
Yeah, I thought that was a bee.
I could be mistaken on that one. Alright, cave strats here. and gets that good corner position. Double hit spins for days.
No wasted effort, no wasted magic either. And he's on to phase 3.
One of those rare instances where, did you find the arrows? Yes. Yes, we did. Couldn't get them, but we found them. Alright, now I'm not sure of the number of spins exactly it takes with Master Sword off the top of my head, but needless to say, it's a bunch.
I believe Falfon did just write it down. He says it's 12 for the first 2 phases, 4 for the third one, and 24 for the last one.
Yep, and that's a lot of spin attacks. And with half magic and the lamp and the torch glitch, should be okay on that front. Just gotta get it done.
Just a little bit iffy on the health. Also, Osse tried to do the triple cycle, but missed on the first hit.
He's looking pretty clean here, I gotta say.
You could say with all these spins, he's running circles around Ganon.
You could say that. There's definitely a thing you could say. Womp womp.
Meanwhile, Cynas just beat Skull Woods.
Can't blame him for. He's a man searching for answers right now. I can't blame him for the ped check. Just some missiles. And that'll do it. Very nicely done. Very clean fight.
Yep, get your GGs in chat, everybody, for Osse has won this race, provided that he doesn't fall off the bridge and stuff.
Made it over, finishing with an official time of 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 1 second. GG. Getting the job done.
Let's see if we get him into chat. Let me pull him up. And here he is. Osse, GG.
GG.
GG, sir. Excellent showing.
Thank you.
So, how'd you feel about the seed?
I felt like I played the seed really well. That's how I was feeling. And then on reflection, like a lot of the items are in troll locations.
They certainly were.
Catfish and Spike Cave and Lumberjack. So.
Also, Meyer had the Quake Medallion.
Yep, and Meyer.
Yep, an inspired dip to be sure. And swords were stingy, though there was a more that you happened to skip over. Bomb Chorizo was holding a sword upgrade.
Yeah, I heard about that. I couldn't go after every location, even if it was sort of close like Bomb Chorizo's. Like eventually it adds up and you just gotta go for the Lumberjack sword.
Go for the sword you know. Definitely a line I can respect. But definitely very well played overall. Those out of the way locations, checking some of those early definitely did pay off for you. Just a fine performance overall. Very well done on the Master Sword Ganon. That's no mean feat. You made it look easy.
Yeah, that's something that I have to practice for the Link to the Past tournament I'm in. The next round of that has Expert Mode, and that's Master Sword Max. And so there's a good chance of getting just Master Sword Silverless in that.
Yeah,
good.
this was definitely good practice for that.
Yeah, same with the hammer on Ega for practicing swordless.
Okay, so that explains why you were doing the hammer Aga. Makes sense. Because a few people in chat was actually this one. Jersen's just asking now why you were using hammer on Aga 1. It was just swordless practice.
Yep.
Even with a perfectly good net available. But yeah, no, it was a very entertaining watch though. You played it very well, certainly. Do I have to ask, was there any point, like, how were you feeling over the course of the season? Was there any point where you were feeling behind? Was there any point where you were feeling way ahead? Just like put us in your head for a little bit for how you were going through this seed.
I wouldn't say I felt behind at any point. I think at Pod I was feeling ahead with the mirror find. And then the mirror led to Mitts and Lamp. And, I just kept finding more progression. So everything kind of worked out, except for like a few overworld checks. At the Quake find, I felt like really ahead.
And in chat now we have Cynas here. GG Cynas.
Hey, thanks. That's about as well as I think it could have gone for me. GG Aussie.
GG.
So I'm assuming you know what kind of threw you off the seed.
Yeah, just full clearing SM. That was kind of stupid.
Actually, no. What you missed was the Swamp House Big Chest had the mitts.
Oh, did it? Oh, I thought Aussie told me after the race that it was in Misery Mire, and I was like, I almost dipped Mire, and I really thought about going right back for it, and I was like, man, lightning is not going to strike twice here. I knew I left a chest in there. I had so much other stuff to do, having picked up gravity, that I decided to let it go. And, you know, that was really pressing my luck, because I made more than the usual number of smart plays by the potion glitch in Pod, which actually turned out to be not needed at all. But I was happy with the routing overall, and just sometimes you miss one, and I know Aussie is a better player than me, so I was trying to make up time at that point.
Mire was required though, because there was the Quake medallion in there, and that was
Of course.
that was required to open Turtle Rock.
Yep.
Easy checks to miss, certainly. Going back for just that big chest and swamp, certainly not a good feeling, especially after, like you said, you got the suits that opened up so many checks for you. It's very understandable just to play those out at that point. That's randomizer for you. Get you sometimes.
Yeah, we didn't come across Space Jump, did we? I don't think so.
It was on Ether Tablet.
Was it really? That's disgusting.
Yes, and it made me laugh because I forgot that the flavor text was, "I believe I can fly."
Let's see, what else? There was some pretty ridiculous logic there in the beginning. So when I sequence broke the mirror and I got the speed booster, I was like, oh man, I might actually have a shot at this, because if he didn't do this, then I'm going to be moving a little bit more quickly through SM. And, that just didn't pan out. but then, eventually I found the hook shot, and I guess the logic was to go through SM to Death Mountain, get the hook shot from Dark Cave from Spike Cave without the mirror, and then carry on. It's just. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was really. I'm so happy that we have some sequence breaking available to us.
Yeah, no, it was a long, convoluted path, logically speaking, to that lamp on Argus. So yes, hooray for being able to do dark rooms.
Yeah, and I should have tried to finish Pod and Eastern right away whenever I found the bow on Trollfish, but at that point I had enough trouble with the dark room next to the big key chest in Pod that I was like, I'm bound to find the lamp with the mirror and the speed booster and everything. I better go check these out first. Thank you, folks, again, all the volunteers for running the show, and everybody for watching. It was a huge audience for me, and Osse for being a good sport, and I can't wait to watch the replay.
Well, thanks for putting on such a great show. This was a really, really entertaining race to watch from both of you. Two solid competitors, certainly. Wish you both the best of luck in the next round here. Yeah, no, it was a great race. It was a pleasure to watch, pleasure to commentate for.
Thanks, folks. Have a good night.
Good night, Cynas. Any last words, Osse?
Not really, unless you got anything else you want to ask me.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Breakdown, you got any other more questions?
I think I'm pretty well covered here, but we'll say thanks again for a great race, fantastic showing. You'll be one to watch certainly in the rounds to come.
And I'm assuming you don't have anything else breakdown to say?
No, I don't. I think my mic disconnected. Maybe, possibly.
No, it did not break down. Don't worry.
I was having I had a little hiccup on my side here. So, but no, I think I got everything covered here. Yeah, just to all you out there in chat, thanks for watching. It's been this was a good race certainly, and there's plenty more to come in the weeks to come. This is just week 1 of 5 weeks, the Swiss, and then the top 8 after that. Lots of fantastic races here on the Speed Gaming channels. So keep an eye out on that schedule, and yeah, we'll see you for the next one.
Speaking of schedules, we have right now in Speed Gaming 3 a Link to the Past fall tournament. It's a match between JTB versus Active Bulker. It looks like it's an all-dungeon hard seed. I can't see the rest of it. Also on Speed Gaming 5, they're still continuing an all-dungeon standard swordless hard key sanity. Ouch. And that match is between ALG Andy and Wayne. We also have 10:30 on Speed Gaming 1, Speed Gaming Prime, i.e. this channel. We have a Defeat Ganon match between Jet 82 and Sabotainer. It's actually an Randomizer match as well. Looks like open mode Randomizer. I think our next Super Metroid match is later, or there's one going on right now. Let me check. Yeah, the 7:30 match is still going on in Speed Gaming 2. So with that, for my partner Breakdown on comms, HCF Wesker on tracker, thanks for helping us out. I am Seiryu X, and we'll see you guys next race and next mission. Laters all.
Have a good night, everybody.